Hey guys, I'm Greg Bennett, and I want to start with an apology for whatever's going on top of my head. I haven't had a haircut in 45 days, but that doesn't matter because we're here today raising money for COVID-19 relief. And before we get started, I just want to remind you that you can help by clicking the link in the description below or going to cameo.com, where all purchases are going towards COVID-19 relief charities. So I am here today with four newly minted reality TV legends. They are also trendsetters because they have made quarantining like a cool thing to do long before the rest of the world was doing it. And as you can tell by my background, we're going back to the pods today to talk all about season 1 of Netflix's Love is Blind. We've got Amber and Barnett, Mark and Kelly. What's going on, guys? How are you?
What up? What up?
Hi. Your
How's
background
everyone
is
doing?
giving us PTSD, man.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I wanted to get in the theme of the Q&A here. How's everyone feeling? Stuck inside? Good? Bad? Whatever?
Day by day is definitely been the motto.
Awesome company.
Yeah.
Well, I want to start with a really, really important question for all of you, and we can go down the line one by one and answer it. But would you say that you guys drank more in the pods or have drank more at your homes over the past few weeks? Let's start with Amber and Barnett.
I'm going to say in the pod because I was trying to numb my emotions sometimes.
Okay, that's fair.
We could tell.
And it was free.
Yeah,
It was free there. Got it.
I think I'm going to second that. I think I drank a lot more when we were in the pods just because it was really, I don't know about the guy side, but I know especially when the girls first got there, it was like a hangout and we were just, there was an open bar and we were just, morning mimosas and then wine in the afternoons, sangrias and stuff. Like we were just chilling.
The pods had shots of the little bottles.
Okay.
And the little wine bottles.
Little wine shooters.
And it
All
is
right.
down here, but I feel like quarantine is doing the opposite. We started kind of drinking a little bit, and it's like progressing more.
Yeah.
We're doing the opposite.
Yeah, Kelly, what about you? Are you hanging in there? Are you drinking as much as the pods or less or more? What's going on?
I would say I may have been one of the more sober ones in the pods.
Okay.
I've been very much fun. I was trying to be like really focused and in it, and like not forget conversations. So I was trying not to. So yeah, I would say I have drank more now, outside of.
Got it.
But yeah, I live alone, so like I have to have like FaceTime happy hours a lot.
I hear you. And Mark, we just did a shot before this started, so I think I know the answer that you're going to say.
Well, yeah. Actually, what's funny, I think I drank a little bit more in the pods because I've been doing all these live workouts. Like, there's not really much room to drink all these beers or even take all these shots. So, but whenever I'm with this crew of people, I'm like, oh, hell yeah, let's do a shot together. So.
I love it.
Did you finish that whole pack of White Claws?
Dude, right after I worked out, then I shotgunned a few. Then I was like, all right, we're good.
Wait, what was the last drink that we had to get on the show was Mike's Hard. I feel like I should have a Mike's Hard with you right now, but I don't have it.
We did. I remember that.
Shoot.
All right.
You inspired me to use my Bush 30 racks for lifting weights.
Right,
yeah, I
Greg,
just waiting for the box to rip and him to just drop beer all over the entire apartment.
Oh, so Barnett, you've been doing home workouts with 30 racks? Is that what you just said?
I've been trying.
Creative. I salute that creativity. I have just been trying to do sit-ups and it's kind of mixed results. I want to talk about like the first day you guys got to the pods and you got your speech from Vanessa and obviously Nick Lachey. And then from there, you hit the ground running, you started dating. How many dates did you guys go on a day?
Everybody on the first one.
First day was 15.
Yeah.
The first day you dated everybody. It was like speed dating. Yeah,
it was the longest day ever, but also so short.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was so drained after that day. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. So how long, like Mark, when you would go into a date, if you knew that somebody was not for you, would you just like cut it off, or would you guys like say like, okay, thanks but no thanks, or like how did that work, or did you just politely wait for them?
The thing about the first day, it was like speed dating, right? So you only had 7 minutes, and then so you're dating everybody, and then at the end of the day, after you've dated everybody, you rank them. So from like 1 to 15. So based on like how you rank them, the following days after that, then they would kind of come up with like a schedule to like, okay, you're gonna see this person, or like, well, you kind of still didn't know until a certain point like who you're gonna see. But yeah, they would like kind of like bring them in, and based on like how they ranked you and how you ranked them, that's how you would like end up seeing. So if a date didn't go well and you ranked them, say like number 15, and then they ranked you 15, you're probably not going to see them again.
Yeah. Right.
You still might, because I still my number 15.
Yeah, you still might see them.
Hey, I ended up with a second date with Carlton, and he walked out on me. So you never know, honestly.
That's true. All right. I have like a really like, it's like a burning question that I could never figure it out. You guys were always like, the girls and the guys, you guys got really close while you were separated. And then as the show progressed and certain people didn't match, they just like disappeared. Like, remember the Virgin? He was just gone one day, and was there like a trap door, or was there like, did you guys watch them pack their bags and leave? Like, how did that work? Did you get to say goodbye, or were they just gone like the next morning?
You're just gone.
Is this question specifically about the Virgin or the people that just...
No, not the Virgin. I was using him as an example, but like...
I was going to say, Taylor was actually there until the very end. Taylor got to vote somebody, Mark.
Yeah, he actually, a lot of people didn't get to see that. Taylor, like after whatever, me and Barnett were cool like the whole time. So that's why I was like confused. And then the whole thing after that was really like them putting Taylor like against me to talk to Jess, and then like all that stuff. So he actually had like a lot more than like he actually got shown, but it is what it is. But what happened with a lot of folks,
the crazy story arc himself. So he had a
and he cried so much. I love that guy. He cried so much. He was going through so much.
He did. He came in with his chest puffed up. I love Taylor. He came in with his chest puffed up, and then like everybody, it was like so like what was funny about the guy's side, I felt like there was so much vulnerability that when a guy would pop out, it'd be like all like, especially after an interview or stuff like that, we'd be like, yo, dude, are you okay? Like, what's up, man? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about our feelings, bro.
There's a lot of feelings in the guy's side.
No, it was actually, there was one day specifically, I think a lot of the people kind of left mass exodus, and we all came back from dates, and I know on the girl side, we were all really confused. We're like, where is everybody? And they're like, oh, well, they haven't made matches, so they got to go home. And we're like, wait, what? Like, we don't get to say goodbye? Like,
oh, wow.
They just disappeared.
Was,
and then after that, I know on the girls' side, there was one really, like, heartfelt, like, tearful goodbye is when Brianna decided, she wasn't feeling the connection with anybody and wasn't feeling like anybody was feeling her. So she was just like, I'm going to take control of the situation. And she's like, I'm done. I'm leaving. And it was so tearful. Like, honestly, it was a really sad, sad day.
Wow.
So there were some people that just chose to like because they weren't feeling it, which was heartbreaking because I just wanted them to hang out with us more.
To piggyback on that, like Amber, you're right. Like it really was. I was laying on the couch and there were guys in the pods, and then I was like, wait, why am I the only one laying up? Like, where is everybody? And then all of a sudden, like they bring all the guys in and they're like, hey, by the way, so we sent home like 5 dudes. So just to let you guys know, like time to get serious about all this. I'm like, oh damn, like this just got real.
that was a pretty intense day.
Day of reckoning.
I think that was the day everybody really started taking things more seriously because we're like, oh crap, like we're really cutting it down. We're not just hanging out anymore. Like this is intense.
Yeah.
I started drinking less that day. Still drank, not that much.
You needed to have
day one.
About you.
Yeah.
Last day.
The first day we were like beer pong after we filmed and stuff.
Like I said, first day was
like, y'all gotta go home.
It just dropped. We all started taking it more seriously.
It's like the opposite of quarantine, right? Like you started day one of quarantine really like, oh, I'll have a beer, and now you're like shots before your cameo interview. All right, so Amber and Matt, I have a question for you guys. First, congratulations. You guys were married, what, like 2 years now?
Thank you.
Major. What was it like filming the show and then going back to your life and waiting like a year and a half before it aired? Did you like have to keep it a secret? Did you go out in disguise? Were you afraid like Uncle Netflix was watching your Instagram to making sure that you weren't posting about it? Like, how did that work?
So yes, Uncle Netflix was watching creepily, and no, like we had to make sure we weren't posting anything with like our rings in it, or well, I'm wearing a weird ring, but our rings are, you know, anything with us together. Our friends and family like couldn't post pictures with us and stuff, but they knew we were married. But really, I mean, outside of social media, like we were just living our normal life. Like we kind of like forgot about, like we didn't forget about the filming and shit because it was so ridiculous and life changing, obviously. But like, I don't know.
I think after a while, we kind of just got used to not being a couple on social media and just being a couple in the real world and embracing it that way. And I think after a while, we just sort of got so used to like not posting anything on social media that we were just like, whatever.
Yeah. Right.
We have we got a Polaroid camera.
I take a lot of Polaroid pictures.
She took a lot of pictures with the Polaroid, so we'd have like a book of.
Aww. Honest to God,
like your first year together.
It's my favorite Christmas present that anybody has ever got me. It was so thoughtful, and I was so excited when I got it. I started taking pictures that morning. And every time after that, we would travel somewhere or go to a family event, I would take a Polaroid to remember the moment instead of blasting about it on social media.
Yeah,
I have my own little Polaroid album of our memories.
I love that
album.
That's awesome.
You guys will never see it. there's an X-rated section. So.
Kelly and Mark could come over for a wine night and make it look good. Oh my God, now you're mad. Oh my gosh.
We have ones
so do you got?
We have ones that are black.
I don't have anything. I don't know what he's talking about.
So do you guys think you'll have like another wedding, like a bigger one, like a non-TV one, once this is all over, and
absolutely
put those Polaroids on display?
We talked about that before the show actually even happened, because it was so fast, and there were a lot of things like we're from the South.
We got married on a Tuesday.
Yeah, they're traditionally
an inexpensive day to get married.
Yeah, our friends and family had last minute notice, 2 weeks to get off on a Tuesday. Half the people couldn't come, so we are definitely going to be redoing, at the very least, a small ceremony and then a big reception. Awesome. So that everybody can celebrate with us. Like we're thinking like maybe a 5-year anniversary.
Yeah.
5 years.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Awesome.
Plan now.
Yeah, you have plenty of time to plan, right? Kelly, so we saw you match with Kenny, and obviously it didn't work out in the end. But the show kept it kind of open-ended. Are you guys still in touch at all? Are you friends? Is it cool? Is it not cool?
Yeah, we're totally cool. Like he actually lives in Charlotte now and has a girlfriend. But when we met up for like the reunion show, totally just, I think we both at that point even just kind of talked about the filming again, and kind of not rehashed anything, but just communicated as effective as we did back then again, and just like, hey, like we knew what happened, what was produced, blah, 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 whatever, all that stuff. So, no, but we're friends. We have nothing but respect for each other. And, but we're, I don't, it's not like I'm reaching out to him. He has a girlfriend. Like, I'm not gonna.
Good. Got it. Hey, man.
For that relationship, for sure.
People don't understand how amicable we all actually are. Like, yeah, we all get along fairly well.
Well, yeah, you guys all went through this crazy thing together. I'm sure you have like at least a group chat, right? Like absolutely. A group text that everyone can like check in on each other.
Pod squad.
That group chat gets crazy sometimes. I had to mute it and just check back in on it every once in a while because y'all be watching. Y'all are nuts.
Mark, so you were given a gift as a contestant on a reality dating show. That gift's name was Jessica. She was so wild and so over the top that You came out smelling like a rose, and I think the whole world loved you after this whole experience. How did your dating life change when all of this aired and everybody got to see it?
First off, that was so well put, because I'm like, what is he talking about, a gift? I'm like, where is he going with this? I mean, no, it was an experience of a lifetime for me. I learned a lot about communication, setting boundaries, like really understanding like what I want and what I look for in like a romantic partner, like something like that. But it also helped me in like my friendships and relationships. So honestly, to be honest, like it was a gift, like that whole experience. So that's why even to this day, I'm like, I'm not mad. Like, did the situation, like, was it great? Obviously not, but like to this day, like I'm not gonna be mad at it, So it was good. I think now, like, I'm very upfront with my intentions and what I look for, and I'm kind of like set those standards from the beginning. So it's not like, I think I'm thankful for that whole situation for that.
Yeah. Has she reached out to you since the reunion?
We were cool for a little while after the reunion, but she's busy, I'm busy, and we both told each other, like, if we ever need each other, then like, we'll reach out or something like that. But she's doing her thing, I'm doing my thing.
Yeah. Amber, has she reached out to you since the reunion? Silence. Okay, great.
Next question, please.
All right.
I didn't
another shot
for the reunion, and I didn't hear from her after the reunion. So take from that what you will.
Okay. All right. Kelly and Mark, would you guys do season 2 since you didn't find love in season 1?
Kelly, you want to go?
Someone asked me this question the other day. I don't think so, because I already know like what, like, like I already know what the concept is and everything. And I feel like I want to give that gift to someone else, because it really was like such a transformative thing, I think, for each of us. Like, we just learned a lot about ourselves. So it's like, I could give that to someone else. Let them learn about themselves and go do that.
You've learned enough about yourself for one life.
I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty open to it. I don't mind. I mean,
okay.
No, it's like I said, I think with each experience, you gain more like experience and knowledge. And for me, like, I wouldn't go, like, again, I'm older now. I'm not 24 anymore, in case anybody's wondering. So
wait, you're not 24.
I'm like 26 now.
Yeah, so I'm 26. So, I've learned a lot within these past 2 years since the show was first filmed and everything like that, even after the fact, like when it came out. So I think even if I were to do it now, they're not banging on my door to be like, hey, Mark, we need you on season 2. But like, if they were like, hey, dude, like, you want to try it out? I'm like, why not? Like, I learned so much more about it, and especially like what we went through, that I think a second go around wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Mark, you're from Chicago too.
Not doing it. I wouldn't say no to it. I just, someone else can have the chance.
Someone else can have the gift. All right,
yeah.
That's fair. So what advice would each of you give to anybody who is thinking about throwing their hat in the ring and trying to get on the next season? Let's start with Amber.
I was going to say, I got a bad rap for a lot of things that I've said or felt or thought. And I will say a lot of it was taken out of context, but I never lied. So if you want to be on the show, at least be honest with yourself about who you are and what you want, and don't be ashamed of it.
That's why I love her.
Who you are. Mm-hmm. Don't try to be somebody that you're not. Don't try to sell yourself. Be honest.
Amen.
Otherwise, it's not going to work.
Amen.
I'm afraid of the next season, because I think people might go on it because they've seen the first season and know what to expect and kind of see that and not be genuine people.
Yeah.
And I feel like that you have to be a genuine person to be on there. You can't go on there and lie to yourself and lie to everybody else. And
scary.
It worked.
It's scary already trying to be genuine when you're in front of a bunch of cameras. So that already takes a huge amount of courage. And everybody that we were on there with, I feel like it took us all at least a couple of days to really get comfortable and start opening up in front of the cameras. And that was a challenge in and of itself. So I can just imagine people knowing what to expect and knowing what kind of questions will be able to finagle their way through. And they're going to lose a beautiful opportunity. They're going to lose a beautiful opportunity to be able to connect with people the way that we did. Yeah. Instead of opening up, they're trying to manipulate a situation. And that's kind of it's scary about there being another season, but also, that's the point of what we did, is to take a shot in the dark and see what happens.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Well, I think if somebody went on there for the next season and started acting really messy, the rest of the world would probably love that. So maybe they don't take your advice, and
the world loves
we all from it. Kelly, any advice from you?
I mean, I would say, yeah, be really true to yourself. I know something personally with me. Like, I kind of freaked out like right before going into it. Like, oh my God, like I don't have like a good wardrobe. I didn't like, I don't know, like little like stupid, silly girl insecurities started like popping up. And granted, I wasn't like, secure with myself at that point either. So it's just more or less like, don't worry about it. Just be yourself. Like what they were saying. Like, who cares if you have like the nicest things or whatever? Like I really was like in an insecure spot at that point. And so that's what I would share with people, is just be you. And that's who someone's going to fall in love with anyways, is when you're yourself. So old clothes or new clothes or whatever.
Holy sweatpants.
What you see is what you get.
What you see is what you get. Yes. Be real. Just be real. Be honest with yourself and open up. Be vulnerable. You have to be vulnerable. If you're not, like, you're not going to make those connections either. So gotta open up.
Yeah. Mark, what about you? Any wise words of wisdom for everybody watching? They wanted to throw their hat in the ring
for sure. What I would say, especially during this time while we're all sitting at home and like, there's obviously no production going around, but if you have applied or are thinking about applying, like, I strongly recommend that people take this time to like think about what they look for in a partner, set what their boundaries are, their standards, like what are their like non-negotiables, like what are their values, principles, like stuff like that is really important. So that way, because vulnerability without direction, in my opinion, you're just vulnerable, and now it just turns into therapy as opposed to like building a romantic connection. So I really think that like if you really understand like what your boundaries more like these are things that I didn't know going in, so I became vulnerable and then I figured it out along the way of what I do want. And so what I would say for the next person that does it, like take this time, like what do you genuinely want, because your needs are important, and then like you can kind of clear that out when you go into this and go into these blind dates, because again, you're not going to see them, so you have to make sure that their values match with yours.
So I just want to say something else about that, is that a lot of people think that they know what they want. So for people that want to be on this show that have never been in love before, have never experienced heartbreak before, I feel like that's something that just comes with time, as you figure out not just what you want, but what you end up needing in a relationship. And that's something that you don't always know about yourself, but maybe other people will recognize about you. So before you go on the show and like you make your wish list of the perfect person, it might be a good idea to ask people around you, like, hey, what kind of person do you think would be good for me? Like, who should I keep my eye out for that I don't already? Like, because I know there are some things about Matt that weren't on my checklist. Crazy about him. He annoys the crap out of me, but also there are a lot of my friends that are like, no, he's just right for you. He suits you. Like, he's what you need. So it's I agree. I think if you go on the show, you have to know not just what you want, but what, from an outsider's perspective, what you need that you don't realize.
Yeah.
100%. I agree with that. Yeah, no, and it's more so of like, it's not like set in stone things that you need. It's more so of like, these are what mean the most to me. And then like, instead of forcing someone to fit that mold, it's like you talk to everybody else. All right, this is what works with me. This is my balance. But I agree with Amber. Like, that's something that definitely need to talk to other folks about.
Yeah, I agree.
That was some great advice, guys. You guys are wise.
We went through it. All right, we went through it. We got put through the ringer through all this.
Yeah, you really did.
Things right sometimes, you guys. I say it right sometimes. Not always, but sometimes I get it right.
Way to go.
Sometimes.
So we have like a few minutes left. We'll do one last question, one word for each of you to describe your experience on Love is Blind. Mark, let's start with you.
Oh, great.
It's only one word.
Really? Damn it. Wow. Let's see. Really quick. One word. I would say Enlightening.
Okay.
Because just like what I said before, is just something that like I really realize a lot about myself in terms of who I want to be in a relationship and things I need and want. And like I said, takes a village and things I learned. I'm pretty enlightened from it.
I love it. Kelly, how about you?
I'd say vulnerable. I was very vulnerable from a very beginning stage on. And I feel like my vulnerability allowed others to open up quicker too with me and be more vulnerable too. Mm-hmm.
All right. And Barnett, how about you? Wait, what was it?
Pass.
Yeah, out of here.
Pass. Okay.
You go, and I'll go later. Yeah.
All right, Amber, you go first, and then Barnett can go.
Me first. I'm the leader here, obviously.
She's the boss.
I would say multifaceted, because people say love is blind, but also there was a lot more to the connection that we made than just the blind connections. Obviously, physicality had a lot to do with it. So it was multifaceted. It was more complicated than anybody could see.
Okay. Amen. Barnett, are you still passing, or have you figured out one single word?
My word was pass. No, wait. Surreal? Is that a good word? I don't know. I'm not very good.
I love it.
She has like a very broad understanding of the dictionary. She knows better words than me.
I know
surreal. Because I mean, it was life changing, and like it was kind of like it's like a distant memory, and something that like was this big thing in my past that just is, I don't know, still affecting.
Incomprehensible.
Yeah, it's hard to explain. There we go.
It's incomprehensible.
Okay.
You're good.
Incomprehensible.
Gooder with
a great way to end this little chat. Thank you guys so much. This was so much fun. I am a huge fan. So thank you for taking the time to hang out. I want to remind everybody watching that all of this is for COVID relief, and you can donate by clicking the link in the description below or heading to cameo.com and making a purchase. All purchases are going towards COVID relief this weekend. Next up, we have even more reality TV legends. It's like my version of the Avengers. We have Dorinda, Old Countess Lou, friend of Vicky Gumbelson, Cameron Westcott, and Margaret Josephs. All the Real Housewives legends coming to you live next. Stay tuned to Cameo Cares live stream and stay inside. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Love you guys.
How do you get this thing? Just kidding.
thanks so much for tuning in. I am your host, Lance Bass, the host of the Daily Popcast, a podcast that you probably should be listening to. Go ahead and download that now. You're watching Cameo Cares live stream, Cameo's first virtual 3-day event, raising money to benefit those impacted by COVID-19. And while you're watching, you can donate by clicking the link in the description or by going to cameo.com, where all purchases will support the COVID-19 relief efforts. All right, guys, today is very exciting for me because I'm a huge Bravo fan. We're going to be chatting with the Real Housewives of Cameo. So please welcome Dorinda Medley, Luann de Lesseps, Vicki Gunvalson, Cameron Westcott, and Margaret Josephs. How's it going, ladies?
We're good.
Great.
Well, you all look amazing. I know everyone is on lockdown right now, and I'm assuming maybe y'all have come up with some new hobbies that you like to enjoy. What hobbies are we discovering during lockdown? Dorinda?
Well, I just was talking about it. My daughter and I have taken up crochet, so we're making a quarantine blanket. We're taking up the old-fashioned squares. And our person, you make those granny squares, and it's really bringing out our personalities. I was saying, she's much more focused and organized about everything she does. I just grab any color and throw it in there and hope for the best. So it's an interesting study in psychology.
I've always wanted to learn how to crochet. Maybe I will test that out during this lockdown. Any of the other ladies finding hobbies that you're like, oh, this is something new?
I was just saying earlier that I downloaded Babbel, so I've been brushing up on my Italian, and also, I was talking to a girlfriend of mine, and I said, I want to brush up on my Italian. She goes, another one is watching Italian films. So I've been, learning, refreshing and brushing up on Italian, and then watching Italian films because I've run out of things to watch on Netflix.
It's true. We're all running out of some things to watch right now. We'll get into what we're all watching to kind of give some people some fun things to do. But that Babbel thing, I hear that now. I mean, I don't know how many languages you want to learn, but I think they're giving all the languages away for just like one price now. Nice. It's kind of cool. So
yeah,
go learn a language.
Yeah.
What about you, Vicki? Any new hobbies?
You know what? I decided to boycott the quarantine, and I'm out in the desert right now. I told Steve I have to get out of the house. So we came out to the desert. My friend's got a beautiful mansion out here, and we're in Palm Springs. And I've been cleaning closets and taking care of client files and doing things that I have been putting off. So for me, I'm catching up on work, and I'm super happy, and I'm ready to go back to work, though. I am done with this.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're all in that same boat. Cameron, if you could get a cameo from any celebrity, who would it be?
Ooh, let's see. I would probably say, Anna Wintour.
Oh, nice one. What about you, Margaret?
Probably Gary Janetti. I love Gary Janetti. I'm obsessed with him. I think he's hysterical. Or at this point, Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York, because who's not in love with Andrew Cuomo?
We are.
He's an amazing person.
I'm not in love with him because I don't know him, but
oh my God, the governor of New York. I just think he's so fabulous. Him and his brother Chris. I mean, everybody has a mad crush on them right now.
Oh, it's great. They even have a website, ilovecuomo.com now.
I mean, what's not to love? They're the best.
It's great. Oh, all right. What about you, Vicki? Do you have your favorite cameo request?
I've always really thought Matthew McConaughey was just like the man. I'm still on that one. I still love him. I think he's great.
What about you, Lou?
Oh, I'm going to have to go with Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Good one. Good one. And Dorinda, wait, did we get one from you, Dorinda?
Lou, he was just up here at Blantyre Castle. I was like almost died when I heard he was up there. I was like, what? Why didn't you call?
Oh my God, I'll be there right away.
As Lou knows, Chrissy Teigen's a big fan of ours, so she's fun. I think it'd be fun to get a cameo from her.
Oh yeah. No,
one of my highlights is when she wore that Giovanni jumpsuit, Luann, the striped one, and posted it.
Drink up, ladies. Drink up.
Yeah.
Cheers. So Vicki, I would like to know, since you are the OG, did you expect the fame that you would get after doing a show like Housewives?
15 years ago. No, I mean, I relived that whole moment in time when I was married to Don, and he was like, we are not going to go on a reality show. We are not going to close our life, and nobody's going to watch it. And why would anybody want to watch it? And obviously it just took off and went into other cities and such. So No, it's really kind of fun now. I'm working on a bunch of new projects. All of you ladies know that I'm not going to be on season 15. And Tamara and I are working on some fun new projects. I've got my podcast out now, Whooped Up with Vicky. I've got still my insurance and financial services. I'm busier than ever. But I'm getting to choose now my life, and I'm no more tears. Tired.
I love that. Well,
yep. But Vicky, according to Ramona, she put you guys on the map. She put Bravo on the map.
She came in season 3. I came in season 1, so she wouldn't be there if we didn't put it on the map. So we can fight about that all day long. The truth is the truth. So.
Oh, Ramona loves a good fight, darling.
Yes,
I'm ready. I'll bring her on.
It's the blonde beat down.
Nice.
Facts are facts.
I would like to know of all the Housewife franchises, and if you could not choose your own, which one would you jump ship to?
I would jump over the bridge right to New York.
New Jersey. So Margaret always.
I would go to New York.
No. Yeah. So I'm going to take Margaret's spot, and Margaret's going to take mine.
Okay.
Exactly. We'll do
just a bridge. We're just a bridge away.
No, no.
I'm a California.
Beverly Hills, I think,
or OC, just so I'm in California.
Yeah.
I don't have the clothes for Beverly Hills. I watched it this week. I said, thank God, Lou. I was saying our show isn't like that. I mean, the clothes.
Yeah, they literally, their dressing is like over the top. I love it.
I mean, and we're nice dressers. I mean, we're good, but that is, I would be like in tears every day.
Right. That is,
it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, the Beverly Hills girls, to be dressed up so much.
And they do a lot of costumes.
Mm-hmm.
But Erica Jane wears those clothes the best because she's got the whole posture and, you know, because she's a performer. So she can wear, like, I said the other night, she wore that outfit that looked like the one from Alice in Wonderland, that queen, where she's like, off with your head. And, you know,
yes, she did. She did.
For you, all you ladies, right?
All right, this next one is for Luann and Dorinda. Are you still friends with Tinsley now that she's moved to Chicago?
You know, I haven't. Go ahead, Dee.
No, you go, Lou.
Okay. Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't, heard much from Tinsley. So, we didn't leave on bad terms or anything like that. But she just isn't super in touch. And I think, you know how it is. You fall in love, you go off, you're getting married. She's super excited and living in Chicago now. So. No, I haven't really spoken to her, but we're on good terms.
That's nice.
Well, but the truth is, Lou, she never really stayed in touch with us. After we stopped filming, that in December, she would. So we've never. The core group has always been our core group. The great thing about sort of Luann, Sonia, me, Ramona, and now Leah, like we really do all stay in touch all year. When Tinsley would stop filming in December, we really didn't hear from her even before the engagement until we started again in August. It was sort of nice.
With my cast, when somebody gets off, we typically never stay in touch unless what you're saying, you're friends off camera too.
Yeah, we are totally, Vicky. I mean, Dorinda and myself, Ramona and Leah actually were on a Zoom call, less than 10 days ago or something. And, Tinsley wasn't on that because she's just not really still part of the group. So
right. Yeah,
I stay in touch with Carrie and Deandra because they actually both live a block from my house. Is that crazy?
Yeah. That is. We're all close. The Jersey girls, we all happen to be close. We might argue, but we talk to each other. We group text each other. We always check in. We just, unfortunately, Teresa's father just died. So we actually are all pretty tight.
Nice. Marge, how's Marge Sr. doing?
Marge Senior's actually amazing. She comes, even though we're together a lot, she doesn't live with me, but she lives down the street. So she basically comes over every day. We eat together, we're together. So Marge Senior's doing fabulous. She's actually doing a lot better than me. She manages to put on makeup every single day and is looking pretty fabulous. So she's doing great.
Have you ladies put on makeup every day and act like you're going to work? There's a couple days last week I did, and I felt better.
No. I don't shower every day till like 4 o'clock. I said I didn't know how my husband has sex with me. I'm not even bikini waxed. I mean, this is getting really bad.
I couldn't tell you when the last time I washed my hair was. I mean, this is the first time I've done makeup in probably 4 weeks, like full face.
Wow.
Yeah, I've definitely been in the same sweatpants for days.
Someone Someone had a great thing on Instagram the other day. They said, "I'm so excited. I just got out of my night pajamas and I'm in my day pajamas."
Yeah. It is nice. So all these habits that we're creating, in this new world, which ones do you think are going to stick? Are we going to spend more time at home these days? The communication we have with friends is so much better now. Do you think that's going to stick?
I think the social distancing is going to stick for a while, not in the form it's in now, but I think people are going to be much more cautious about going to huge concerts and going to big events. I was thinking the other day, and traveling too far. Mm-hmm. I was thinking we all had that bucket list. I'd love to go to India. I'd love to do this. I don't know if people are going to be so quick to take big, huge, long trips.
I think socially people are going to give more air kisses. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be a thing. I think that the social distancing thing is big, and I think Broadway and all my show and what's going on is I don't think people are going to be so quick to gather in places with a lot of seats.
Yeah. I hope the nice things stick of like checking in with loved ones. Cause I feel like I'm checking in on people more because I have more free time. So I'm picking up the phone and calling and not texting as much and like calling everybody. So
having conversations.
Yeah, I hope that part sticks.
So ladies, are you going to wear a mask when you go on an aircraft next time you go? I mean, that was a thing.
Yes.
I travel a lot, so for me, I'm going to probably do it no matter what anymore. Because
airplane for sure.
Right?
I also think, Lance, that I think this Zoom is here to stay. I really now that I've gotten used to it, it really is such a fantastic way to communicate. You can now have things where someone says, "I can't come because I'm sick." They can Zoom in.
Right.
You can have you know what I mean? It's been like such a wonderful tool for connecting.
Yeah. I think a lot of people too are going to take it down a notch clothing wise, and everyone's going to be a lot more casual just because we're so used to lounging in our homes right now. I mean, who's going to want to dress up after this?
Yeah.
Well,
no,
I
it's
think
true.
people will, but especially if you're filming. But for me, with my business, I've always done face-to-face consultations for insurance and financial services. Now I am able to show my clients presentations on Zoom, and I've got a huge overhead with a lot of staff and a big office building, and I'm rethinking, can I do this and get more of a executive suite and then have my staff work from their home? I don't know if it's productive.
Because look at all the time you save. We're saving so much more time now.
Of running a big office, So
the other thing that I think is going to be gone is the handshake. I think the handshake is going to be officially
gone.
Gone.
I know, it's sad. It's actually sad. I'm so touchy-feely. I feel
you're
sad.
fine with, Lance. What do you mean you're fine with?
Because I always thought it was so gross to shake hands. Because there's some gross people out there.
Lou and I have that very sort of European thing. We love a good handshake and a hug, right?
Yeah, I prefer kissing, like the European.
Not good.
So we need to come up with a new move for us. Something fun.
Elbow. People are doing the elbow bump.
Mm-hmm.
Such a hugger and a fondler. I don't know. I'm sad about it.
Look, I'm all about a curtsy and a bow.
Okay, curtsy and a bow.
Well, listen, I think everybody could use a good hug, so maybe it's a good exchange for the handshake.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go.
How is Italy going to do it? I mean, Italy is I did say that one thing about Italy, it did spread so fast because they love each other so much and they're so touchy-feely that, of course, it spread like wildfire.
And they live in such close, quarters, very similar to, New York, where you guys are all very close together. We're here at 2 acres apart from each other, and it's a little different, I think that's why we had 40 people diagnosed in our
out of all of the cast members that y'all have worked with that are no longer on the show, I want to know, each one of you, who would you vote back on the island?
Can I go first?
Go for it.
I would bring Heather Dubrow back. I think she brought a sense of class, and she was fun in her own way. But when Kelly Dodd got on, obviously that wasn't going to work with Heather. So, we stay in touch with Heather loosely. Tamara does too, and I think she just was just great for our cast. When they started bringing in people we didn't know or people that were very harsh to film with, that's when I think things changed for Heather, and she's like, "I'm out." So.
I'm going to say for New York, I actually bring Jill on this season. So you're going to see Jill Zarin But somebody else, if I had to say somebody else, I would say Aviva. I thought Aviva was good television.
Yeah,
She was.
I love watching her.
She was good TV.
I thought so for sure.
I would say I thought that my friend Jules Weinstein deserved an extra season. I really did. I thought she was made a good. I think she could have really come into her own, and it's not just because she's my friend. I really did think that she could have gotten the second season.
Well, it's easier to film when you know the people ahead of time and they're your friend. When our cast started bringing people we did not even know and they were auditioning, then we're like, what do we have in common with them? And that became very difficult. So you ladies are fortunate. Some of you have brought on friends, and that's what makes it really authentic when you're bringing in somebody that tried out. It's not for me as authentic.
I agree. It makes a world of difference. Yeah. That's why when I came, it wasn't so bad because I already was so close to the girls that it was,
easier.
And I already had been to a lot of their events because they would invite me. So it was. It definitely is easier if you have some sort of touch point, I think.
Yeah, Dorinda just slid right in there and a home run. She just slid right into home run.
I don't know about that.
I never got to be
the audience.
The two people who left since I've been on the show, I never want to see again. So that's fine.
That's easy for you.
But I would take Caroline Manzo back because I feel like her and Teresa did do a commercial together so they could get along. And then a lot of people did like her. And I feel like she was very like a matriarch.
You don't want Danielle back? I heard a rumor that you were.
Yeah. We love each other back. I mean, I didn't get scalped the first time. I actually look good in short hair, so it's fine.
Oh yeah. So do you ever run into Danielle like in public?
Do you know we live in the same town?
Oh yeah.
She had moved I live in Englewood, New Jersey. She had moved from Edgewater where she lived to live closer to me when we were friends. No, I don't think she really leaves her house now. And I mean, I'm not leaving my house either at this point, but my big fear was to be running into her in Starbucks. But no, it has not happened, thankfully.
Nice.
I would probably bring back Carrie Duber and Leon Locken. And I know Leon made some mistakes this year, but I always have love in my heart for her. And she's so entertaining. And loved watching her on TV before I was even on the show. So I was like a big fan of her before we came.
I didn't know she wasn't coming back this year. Is she not coming back?
Well, I'm not sure yet, but
that means
think she is. She already made an announcement publicly that she's not thinking.
Yeah, she said that.
So, yeah.
Nice.
But and then Carrie Duber, I've been friends with her forever. So we, I see her normally all the time, but I love her too. So, but I was actually, my situation was a little different because I came in not knowing the other girls, except I knew Deandra pretty well, and I knew Carrie Duber pretty well, but I really had to get to know these other girls, and I finally know everyone, so now I feel like it's a lot of fun.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Your entire closet pink?
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. And the things that are not pink, I really don't gravitate to them as much.
Oh, that's so funny. I'm looking at pink. And
it's all pink here. Unless I'm like not being noticed, and if I want to go to dinner and not get noticed,
dog food you can buy.
Oh my gosh! So I know a lot of us in the, I'm from the Midwest originally, from Chicago, and the East Coast is black and grays and creams, and I'm not a pink person, but I'm looking at your wardrobe, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, like
you can see it more. It's like literally so much pink.
Oh my goodness!
I love it. I love it.
Beautiful.
It makes me so happy. Oh my God. When I was in New York last time, I had like a pink coat on. Everyone stared me down. It was like I was an alien. It
doesn't fit into New York, right?
You definitely get noticed in New York with a pink coat.
Oh yeah.
Vicky, congratulations on the new grandbaby coming. So is Brianna hoping to stay a boy mom or hoping for a little girl?
Well, interesting. I, of course, want a little girl, but Brianna is starting her 8th week. She's had 3 miscarriages before this pregnancy right now. So we're praying she can get through her first trimester. If that's my first prayer, is that she can keep the baby. And then obviously we want a girl. We need to even it out. And when she announced it to the boys, my Troy is 7, my Owen is 5. I say mine. And she didn't know how they were going to react. And they both were so excited. They said, we hope for a girl. We can even out this family. So I'm super excited. bad part about this is she lives in North Carolina. I live here. So we're going to have to figure out about getting a home out there because I can't have her raise the boys without my influence.
Of course. We're all sending very positive vibes. So congratulations once again.
I'm only 33, so if the time's going to have more children, it would be now. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you ladies heard, but please say a prayer for Cara. She just lost her full-term baby in delivery.
Oh, no.
Last week.
Oh, my gosh. I'm so sorry.
4-ounce baby was delivered, and they were not able to save it. So he's in heaven, but she has been going through a very terrible time. This is Gina's daughter, Cara, her second baby. And I'm just extremely sad for Cara. She lives in Florida and did everything right her whole pregnancy, and upon delivery they weren't able to. He got stuck in the birth canal with his shoulders. Yeah. So anyways, just lift her up in prayers and their family because they are obviously devastated. So she announced that on Instagram a couple days ago.
Oh wow, that's so sad.
Babies, you think a full-term delivery should have no problems, and unfortunately.
Did any of you New York ladies or New Jersey ladies know Robbie Brown, the real estate agent that just passed away from coronavirus?
I didn't even know he passed away.
He did. He passed away last week, man. And he was just the most amazing man.
Yeah, I know. I've met him a couple of times out in the Hamptons. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry to hear that.
I know. It's so sad.
There's a lot of sadness going on right now. Yeah. And, you know what? It's not just cars, baby. It's consistently somebody like you just mentioned and people that I know, just not even just Corona. It's just, I think we're more in tune with people, and I just feel like we're all just more compassionate, and because we've got time to sit and reflect on where's our life going. I'm engaged and we were supposed to get married this month and we postponed it. I was supposed to be purchasing a condo this month in Puerto Vallarta, my favorite place. That's on hold right now. There's just so many things that are big things that are happening, and I think it's good for us to just sit down.
The thing that I find very sad too, listening to the stories of these nurses and things. My daughter's emotional stress they're going through. I mean, I watched the whole thing. People we're all clapping for them and we're all like supporting them, but the trickle-down effect that the stress it's creating in their families.
My daughter's a full-time ER nurse in North Carolina, and she works 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. pregnant, and she is under so much stress with what's going on. And the other night I just delivered a bunch of food there. I just feel helpless. I don't know what to do, for these doctors.
Yeah, CNN did a whole segment on that. They did a day in the life of a doctor and a nurse. And, we look at them as saviors and things and sort of these, but they're just really people with all the fear and exhaustion and emotional duress and guilt. They've got these, they said, one of them said, I thought was so significant. She said, I feel so guilty because I go home and I'm like, should I even be going home? Like, what am I bringing home? And I've always forgotten. But family, this has become so all-consuming. So I found that really heartbreaking of a night.
In addition to that, not only what are they bringing home from the hospital, but many of them are mothers or fathers, and they're having to homeschool their children in addition to the stress that they're doing.
That's what the documentary was about. They go home and they go into this, they have to switch hats. Luann, you'd be interested in this because you're a nurse, that they have to immediately switch hat, and after being in these dreadfully stressful environments, they become mom, and people, they want to eat and they want to hug their mom and they want to do homework and they want to show them their homework, and their husbands want their attention or their wives or whatever. I really found it because I wasn't thinking like that.
Right. It's so difficult. Yeah. Did you see that there were people giving their trailer homes to people in the medical field so that they can be on their property at home, and they're living in campers that people have donated so that they can at least be the distance of their family and wave to them and and say hello. And also Jill Zarin started on Noshes for Nurses, which feeds the medical staff. So I've been helping her with that. So just so you guys know that's out there.
What's it called?
Noshes for Nurses. And it helps feed all the medical workers, nurses, doctors.
Is it on her webpage?
Yes. Go to Jill Zarin and you'll see it on her Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think the universe is trying to teach us something during this moment, and I hope we're listening. The big thing, of course, is this earth is thriving with us being locked down. I mean, the environment is thriving, the animals are thriving. So maybe that's the lesson that we're supposed to learn.
They said it's never been so clear in China, the skies, and the amount of vegetation, and even Venice, they're seeing the canals grow these beautiful flowers that they've never had before because they've always been used.
Dolphins in the canal.
Yeah, the dolphins are swimming in the Venice canals.
Dolphins are swimming in the canals. It's amazing.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. One of my favorite things about this Cameo Cares is, one of the foundations that they're supporting is the Employee Relief Fund, the Restaurant Employee Relief Fund.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And all of us have probably, been in the hospitality, industry at some point. Have you all ever had a waiting job?
Yes.
Oh my God. I started I'm going to show my age, but when I started, they didn't have, and Lou could probably agree with this, in upstate, they didn't really have an age thing. So I started working at the ice cream window at Friendly's, a very vetted job, by the way, when I was 14 years old. Remember that ice cream window at the Friendly's?
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to give my mother and father like a 5-pound home. That was before they measured. So my whole life, I couldn't have gone to private school or college without working. I worked the whole way through.
Yeah. And I used to work, believe it or not, before I became a nurse, I was a nurse's aide, and I served food in the dining room of geriatric facilities. That's one of my first jobs.
After college, I worked in a restaurant and a bar, and I did cocktails, and I did that the whole time.
Nice.
Yeah, I never worked in a restaurant, but I did retail and waited on people all the time. And
why is that a surprise?
I worked at a restaurant. I just always gravitated toward clothes, I guess.
Well, I did my time at a snow cone place. One of my first jobs. All right, we have a fan question here. What is your favorite storyline you'll never forget about yourself?
Well,
who wants that?
Oh God!
How about what we experienced as a person? Because I don't consider my life as a storyline. But for me, it's when I surprised my son in college, and he did not expect me to show up with beer and a cake stand, and there we go. So that was way back when, over 11 years ago. So that was always a fun thing to talk about.
It's so funny. Yeah. It's so funny, Vicki, because when you were talking about your grandchildren, whatever, I had a flashback of when you walked into your son's college.
Isn't that funny?
It's so funny.
Sophomore in college at University of Colorado Boulder. I always laugh about this, Lance. You're going to love this. I dropped off a Republican, a conservative, and a non-pot smoker. I picked up a Democrat, a liberal, and a pot smoker, and I want my money back. Joke about it. Regardless of what your politics are, but that's what. And a Christian, he came back an atheist. So I was like, only 4 years. Yeah, that was quite an experience. He's 34 now. I think.
Wow, amazing!
That's crazy.
How that time of when I started the show to now, it's really crazy.
We're all watching a lot more television and films these days. What are you into? What have you discovered, and what can you tell us to watch?
I have discovered BritBox. I'm obsessed with BritBox on the app. It's got every old British show, and I'm obsessed with the assistant in England, and she always teaches you a recipe at the end of it. So, and I watch Ab Fab and Keeping Up Appearances and Father Ted. So I'm back in London again.
Yeah. I don't watch you're back in England.
Yeah.
Obviously. Oh, sorry.
I'm back in Europe too. I've been watching foreign films, trying to brush up again on Italian and French and languages I speak. So I'm losing them as I'm sitting here. So I decided I'm going to brush up with foreign films. So that's what I've been doing aside from watching Ozark.
And I have to say, I love that all of us, have become better cooks. And thank you, Luann. I now make my eggs à la française every morning, thanks to your video.
Love it. Good.
I'm sure
it's really good. Add a little truffle oil on those at the end. Amazing.
Nice.
I'm sure everybody's.
They cut out our scene of us doing our 8 competition. That was a fun thing.
Oh, really? They didn't use it? Oh, when that happens.
Wait, Margaret, what were you just saying?
I said, I'm sure everybody's watched Tiger King.
Oh, yes.
I'm in the obsession, which is like, I couldn't help it. But also Little Fires Everywhere. So good with Kerry
What's
Washington.
that?
You got to watch it. It's great.
Reese Witherspoon's new show.
Witherspoon and Kerry Washington.
Where can we find that?
On Hulu. Little Fires Everywhere.
Okay, Hulu. I'm going to write that down.
I'm going to write it down too because I'm so desperate for
Little Fires.
I love Reese Witherspoon.
No, I'm telling you, Reese Witherspoon is killing it right now. She has so many great shows, from the morning show to that one to the Meryl Streep show she has. They're really good. But Little Fires Everywhere is.
What's the Meryl Streep show? Oh, you mean
Little Big Lies or something?
Big Little Lies?
Big Little Lies.
Yes, it was so good. And her character in Little Fires Everywhere is similar to that character.
Yeah,
but wait a second. Big Little Lies isn't back out yet.
No, not back yet.
Oh, yeah. I'm waiting for The Crown to come back out.
Margaret's hat looked like she's from Flying Nun right now.
I know. I had to pick up the brim. I felt like I had a shadow on my
Why is it
like Sister
on this?
Right?
I've been watching.
Now we're dating ourselves. I'm Sister Betrell. Flying Nun.
I've been watching.
You don't know what we're talking about, do you? With the Flying Nun.
Yeah. I've been watching some older TV shows. I started getting into Devious Maids. You guys, it is amazing. It is like Desperate Housewives. And I'm telling you, I can't stop binge watching this. And the other one everyone's been telling me to watch is Unreal, and that's on Hulu. And that is crazy, especially for all of us to watch it, because us being in the reality TV world, we're like, oh my gosh.
It's so great. And Constance Zimmer is genius in this show. Yeah, it was a Lifetime show. It was so great. Luann, are we missing being on stage at your cabaret? Did you have to cancel a lot of dates?
Yeah, my tour is on hold for the moment, and we're rescheduling for the fall and actually into 2021. So yeah, the tour is postponed, but I'm working on the show, changing it now because of what's going on in the world. I like to keep my show fresh and new, so I'm working on it as we speak. So looking forward to being back on stage. I miss it. I love doing the show, and you've been on the show, which has been amazing. You came. Where were we at the Borgata, right?
Yeah, it was at the Borgata. Mm-hmm.
It was at the Borgata, and then I came over to your place. We have so much fun together, and so I miss that. I miss seeing.
Well, we'll have it again at some point soon.
I miss my life, right? I miss my life. I want my social life back.
Yeah, I know. Here's another fan question for you all. Wildest housewife moment that did not get the airtime it deserved? Was there a storyline that you're like, I can't believe they didn't show that?
Well, Dorinda and I were just talking about the scene where we have an eggs
competition. Bake off.
What's the name of your dish, Dorinda?
Oh, mine was what did I call it? It was a scrambled poached egg.
Scrambled poached egg. That was so good. Dorinda makes a killer scrambled poached egg.
Wow, I thought it would be fun, and of course your eggs Alfonso's are delicious. I thought it would be a fun thing, but they didn't use it. It's so weird, isn't it? When they don't use stuff, you think it's like an obvious, then you're like, wait.
They were more focused on the
dildo, the chicken.
I can't wait to
vibrator and the chicken.
I can't wait to watch the vibrator and the chicken next week.
Oh my gosh, that preview looks insane.
Yeah, our egg cook-offs got kicked out because of the dildo and the chicken.
That's right.
Oh my gosh. I really want this recipe now, Dorinda. I've never heard of eggs like that.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah. In Dallas, we played bubble soccer actually, and it was so funny. We were all in these big bubble, balls falling everywhere, and it didn't make it. It was hilarious.
That's fun. I've seen that before. I've always wanted to do that. You're like inside balls and kind of, how do you play that game?
Like hitting me so hard. I would fly like 20 feet. It was so scary.
Mm-hmm. See, I've always thought Bravo needs to do, remember they brought it back for a little bit, but Battle of the Network Stars, right? Yeah. I loved watching that show. Yeah. I think Bravo needs to bring this.
I think they should do Family Feud. I always thought Family Feud would be great. East Coast versus West Coast, the OC versus New York.
I still stand that be. Just did that, didn't
I'm sure Steve Harvey would love that.
The crossovers of the franchises are so different that I think they're really missing the boat on doing that.
Yeah, because I would love to pair all of y'all together, or maybe have different Housewives versus different shows on Bravo. I think it would be really fun.
I want want to do a housewife cruise. Would that be so fun?
Well, not right now.
Yeah, no cruises for a while.
I think this thing is not going to be.
Yeah.
I still say I think we should do Family Feud. We would be so good because Luann and I are very competitive and stuff. We would be great at that.
I'll let you be the team leader, Dee.
Yeah, y'all should definitely do that. They do it every summer with celebrities, so y'all should definitely
We'd love that.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Do you have any favorite places you've gone on your seasons? Y'all do these amazing trips all over the world. Is there one that you're just like, wow, that was the best?
Thailand.
You guys go on better trips. I got shafted.
Morea, which was fabulous. Morea was fabulous. We were having walk over the water. You know, that was a highlight trip.
Cameron, can I please have the elephant song really quick?
Oh, yes. Thailand.
Everyone gets a baby elephant.
I mean, I had this song, you guys, in my head every time I went to Thailand. I've been to Thailand 2 or 3 times before, actually with my husband. And we just made this song up. It was like a funny joke. And somehow it came up on the show. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that. And it just went viral. It was so funny.
It's so funny. All right, ladies. Well, I'm going to have to wrap this up. Is there one final thing you would like to tell the world right now? Go ahead, Dorinda. You start.
I think that we have to understand that something wonderful is going to come from this reset. We don't know what it is, but it's definitely a great time to just not be so stuck in what is happening, but think about how we're going to go forward and what kind of a new world we're going to be living in, and be appreciative for that.
Nice. Cameron?
I want everyone to hang in there, and we're all in this together, and we all need to support each other, love each other, and be there for each other. So everyone stay strong.
Yeah. All right. What about you, Luann?
You know, for me I think this is a major reset button. So I hope that people are going to really look at this as a moment to reassess themselves and be an even better person, and to just, take care of people around them, loved ones, and get close to family again, and be safe at this time, and just, do what everyone is doing, which is keeping a distance and being safe. And until we get through this, we need to stay strong.
All right. What about you, Vicki?
So I ditto everybody what you've said. For me, it's being more compassionate about the people that we see as hairdressers, nail technicians, waitresses, waiters, people in restaurants, small business owners. I mean, when I heard this statistic, over 60% of small businesses are going to fail by the end of this year, that broke my heart. I'm a small business owner. I've had my business 32 years, and it is stressful. So, the big businesses are affected too. But for me, it's really being more compassionate and understanding that, the people that we rely on are out of work right now, completely out of work. Yeah. I don't know about you, but my gray is coming in. My nails look horrible. So, it's really makes you more aware of how much we need our people that we go to all the time. We just take them for granted.
That's true. What about you, Margaret?
I think this has become a great equalizer across the world, and we realize that we are all the same, and this is not a time to ever be petty, and realize that how much we love each other, and not a time to ever hold grudges. And if you want to say sorry to someone, now is the time, and it's a time for forgiveness and a time for healing. And I think that's what's really important. I just want everyone to stay safe and healthy, and hopefully we come out of this, the world a kinder and gentler place.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. And on my podcast, we always end the show with a do good for the day. And I think that is a really do good mission for us all today. Maybe find that person to say I'm sorry to.
Danielle, the markers are going to make up.
There you go. I'm going to take a screenshot of this and I'll send it to us. Everybody smile. 1, 2, 3.
They send it to me, Dorinda. I don't have my phone near me.
All right. Well, ladies, this has been so much fun. That's all the time we have today. Thank you, Dorinda.
I don't have your number. Send me your number. You have mine. DM me, because I don't have
Margaret. And just a reminder, Cameo will be donating proceeds to charities helping those impacted by COVID-19. So make your Cameo requests right now. Follow all these ladies on social media, and you can also donate using the link in the description below. The Cameo Cares live stream will be back in an hour. So tune in to hear the rock stars of Cameo coming up next. So, all right. Thank you so much, ladies.
Yeah.